And Superintendent Mark Shepard with us this morning, as always, on our Thursdays. Nice to have you here.
Well, good to be here.
Yeah. I know we were talking before the COVID numbers right now, not really on the decline. So let's talk a little bit about
in the
that.
wrong direction. I think they're trending pretty much in line with the community and with the area. I think yesterday we had just over 30 students who had tested positive that were out with a positive test. Probably the positive of all of that is we're not seeing any epilinks right now. And just to remind everyone, epilink is when we would have 3 students or a combination of students and staff members that are all either on the same team, say at the middle school or JCAC, or in a classroom at one of the elementaries. It's pretty evenly spread across the district. When you look at proportionately based on our numbers, those, I think it was 34 yesterday, students are spread all the way across every building. And I think, hopefully we're getting closer to turning the corner. We know that there's now approval for a vaccine for, children ages 5 through 11. And we're going to host a clinic coming up in I think about a week and a half. And it's purely voluntary. If parents want their children vaccinated, it'll give them an opportunity to do that. There's other options and other ways to get that vaccine, either through your own doctor's office or through any of the other community clinics. But and then the booster's available now. So we're going to host a booster clinic. I think it's this Thursday, which will give our staff an opportunity to get vaccinated if they're so inclined to get that booster.
Good deal. Well, it's been a busy week, and even this morning you've had some information you wanted to share with the public this morning.
We do. We got a call in the middle of the night from the Fremont Police Department, and they had just gone to one of our students' houses and cited that individual for making terroristic threats. And it stemmed from a social media post or conversation that they were having with other students. And apparently the student did display what appeared to be a gun. It actually turned out to be a toy gun. But, the toy guns right now look pretty real.
Right. Yep.
And we take every one of these types of situations very seriously, as do the Fremont Police Department. I think maybe the good news on this one, just like we've experienced on other ones previously, the student who saw that talked to his mother, and they went immediately down to the police department and let somebody know. And that's been our message from the beginning. We had kind of a rash of these about 3 years ago, right before COVID. The key is, and we continue to message this, that if you see something, say something. And if you know something, make sure you tell an adult, and then get the proper authorities involved. We always err on the side of calling the police and let them sort it out. We're not investigators. It's not our job. We let them go through that process, and we work closely with them.
Yeah, that's for sure. You've had a big week because you've had some accreditation going on, which means people actually come into the building and they talk to people about what's going on, how things are going at the school, right?
So every 5 years, schools in the state of Nebraska are required to go through an external accreditation visit. And so you bring in, they're assigned by the Nebraska Department of Education, individuals from other school districts, and they come in and they go through all of the requirements that are mainly outlined in Rule 10 of the Nebraska Department of Education code. And then they look at your policies, they look at your goals, they look at all the things that you have going on, and then they go out and look for those things. They want to know if you say you're doing something in regard to career technical education, for example. They're going to go out and they're going to make sure it's happening. We've had a very concerted effort over the last couple of years. It started with a federal grant that we received for PBIS, for example, and that's a positive behavior support system. And so they went out and they saw evidence of that happening. And they talked to parents, they talked to board members, they talked to teachers, custodians, food service workers, all aspects of our operation. And yesterday at 3:45, they reported out, and I'm very proud to say that they had a very positive report. Probably one of the things they said we could do a better job of is really celebrating some of our successes. So not everybody gets up at 7 a.m. and listens to the radio show, I guess,
Right,
Chris.
yeah, yeah.
But we do, sometimes we don't blow our own horn as much as we should.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that the negative stuff's always going to be out there, that the only way the positive stuff gets out there is we've got to do a better job of promoting. And that was identified by the outside group. Mm-hmm. The other thing that I thought was really neat is they started the commendations for the district. Now, they went through various levels, elementary, middle school, high school, etc. But they started the commendations for the district of Tiger Pride, is what they said. And they said it's something they saw in every aspect of our operation. People are proud to work for Fremont Public Schools. Students and parents are proud of Fremont Public Schools and proud to be part of it. And I think that resonates throughout our community. We don't hesitate to congratulate Archbishop Bergen and their students when they do well. They don't hesitate to congratulate ours, as well as Trinity, Midland, Metro. We just continue to work together as a community, and I think it serves our community very well.
Yeah, well, speaking to that, Jody Horner is your speaker tonight for the Academic Achievement Awards.
She is, and we're really pleased to have President of Midland, Jody Horner, as our keynote. And as I told Jody, it's a pretty short keynote because the real purpose of the event is to honor our students. These are the best of our best. Mm-hmm. These are students that are on the honor roll. They're getting very good grades. They're taking tough courses, and it's a fun night. We're just really proud to have Jody Horner there as president of Midland. And it's such a great partnership we have with both Midland and Metropolitan Community College. And we were starting to talk about who are we going to have come in, and that just seemed like a natural.
Yeah, that's for sure. Academics tonight, yesterday, little athletic signage going on. We
had a great event in the Albaugh Gymnasium. It's really a celebration for our student athletes and their families, and a reflection on our programs and our coaches. So I think we had 9 student athletes yesterday that signed to go on and take their talents to the next level. And that's not everybody that will sign during this signing period. There's a signing period in the fall, signing period in the spring. We know that we have a few more out there that are going to sign probably within the next week, which I think is the window they have to sign for the fall signing period. But it was great. We had 4 girls from the upcoming Fremont High basketball team that signed, and so that's neat. We had students that signed for all aspects of our extracurricular programs.
Yeah, even esports.
Esports, absolutely. And, it's a big deal.
It is.
And I met somebody recently. We were out in Hastings at a restaurant, and the waitress saw that we had some Midland gear on. I was there watching my daughters play basketball, and she came up and she goes, "Hey, what's your affiliation with Midland?" And I kind of told her, and she said, "Well, that's really cool." She said, "My son was just named the assistant coach for esports at Midland, and he had come here and he had participated in esports, and now he's helping coach it." And she said, I had to eat my words because I always told him, you're never going to make any money playing those video games.
And
so
then,
now he is.
Yeah, very good. All right. I think that pretty much does it. Anything else, Mark, they wanted to share?
The only thing that I would share is, with this terroristic threat overnight, I think it was handled very appropriately, handled very swiftly by the Fremont Police Department. And I just want to assure our parents and our students and our staff that we are very safe. And it's unfortunate when these things happen. Students do make poor choices every now and then, and when they do, we deal with them. And then we try to communicate as much as we can. And so we sent some information out this morning via Remind, which is our messaging system. and then also through emails. And so we try to get the message out so that people know what's going on.
Yeah, that's and that is very clear. I mean, everything's right there. And thank you for sharing that. That is good.
You bet. Thank you.
Mark Shepard, our superintendent of Fremont Public Schools, with us this morning, as always on Thursdays. And